Hello everybody, Terror on the God 3 here, and I'm reviewing episodes 85 and 86 today. This is basically a follow-up to the fact that when I was moving, like I said, there was a lot of chaos going around. And also, if you checked my Twitter, you and I had the blue screen of death. I actually was able to fix it because I'm actually pretty good with computers. But, you know, that slowed things down quite a bit as well. So with all of that said, I'm doing 85 and 86 together. And I think it works because these two episodes happen around the same spot. And on a side note, I would like to congratulate Dragon Ball Super on the way that it's actually working, actually taking the time to develop. And it's slowing down. The pace is slowing down dramatically. And I appreciate it for that because I've made this comparison 1,000 times, and I know a lot of people don't like it when I compare Z to Super, but I'm sorry, it literally comes right after Z and it's using Z's material. Why can't I compare the two? Dragon Ball Z did a lot of like taking time to develop characters and have moments with characters and build upon characters, which is one of the reasons that I personally don't like Kai as much as Z. I think Kai's still good. Kai's still a very entertaining way and a fast, effective, and efficient way to get into Dragon Ball Z. But I personally like watching like Dragon Ball Z filler included because you get moments out of those that you just can't get out of, say, Dragon Ball Kai. In Dragon Ball Kai, either they're fighting, training, or getting to, you know, to progress the plot with very little filler in between. Whereas in Dragon Ball Z, you get little moments like, you know, that moment where Gohan is studying and that tutor is whipping him and Chi-Chi's not having it, so she actually beats him up when he calls out Goku for being a bad parent. You know, the stuff like that. You never get moments like that. And Dragon Ball Super right now is actually taking the time to put in moments that make me want to care. And this is one of the best examples. So, without further ado, let's get into episode 85. That episode is titled, "The Universe Begins to Make Their Moves, Their Individual Motives." This episode, the plot summary goes like this. So the plot basically is that Goku's off to go find Android 17 while Gohan's off to go find Piccolo, not only to recruit Piccolo but to train under him to get stronger. When that's all taking place, Goku ends up running into Majin Buu, and it seems that Majin Buu has slimmed up quite a bit because he's actually, you know, taking the time to train intensely for the Tournament of Power. He's taking this seriously. And I will note that I don't think this is something that's permanent because if you look at the promotional poster, Buu is still fat. So this is probably just a temporary training mode. This isn't how Buu is going to be permanently. Although I think this new design does look cool and sleeker for Majin Buu. But regardless, anyway, they end up training and Buu actually masters a new technique. It's a surprise energy blast attack that will throw the opponents off guard, and Goku got knocked out of bounds. Although Goku was only fighting at normal state, so whatever. Anyway, once we move on, we end up to the meat of this episode, which is known as the Universe 11's plot. Universe 11's Supreme Kai ends up talking with all of the other Supreme Kais about what they should do concerning the situation with the Tournament of Power. Universe 11 Supreme Kai proposed that they all get together and just go ahead and ask Zeno to not have all of the universes erased. The other universes just basically say, no way, this is impossible. Zeno has already made up his mind that he wants to erase these universes. There's no point. At this point, the Universe 11 Supreme Kai goes, oh well, guess there's nothing we can do about this. He didn't invite Universe 7 Supreme Kai, obviously, because they're the ones that are kind of responsible for all of this in the first place. So, Universe 11 Supreme Kai is putting his trust into the Pride Troopers. And then we get to their plot. And I gotta say, the Pride Troopers have a really cool plot. Like, first of all, they're focusing on the Pride Troopers. In the Universe 6 arc, this didn't happen. This wasn't like, we got to learn more about Hit, or we got to learn about Cabo or Frost before the tournament. No, it's just the minute the tournament started, bam, here were 5 fighters from Universe 6. We don't know any of them. We don't know none of their backstory. Here we get to actually take the chance to learn more about these characters. So we learned that Toppo has come back and gathered information about the universe, all the universes in the tournament. And he actually has full detail because he knows what's going to happen. I guess they do this in order to keep the Pride Troopers on God-like tier level so they'll know what happens universally. So Toppo ends up talking with the rest of the Pride Troopers, and they get together. And I'm guessing the Pride Troopers come in squads of 3, because that was the only one that was current on his planet. Jiren, the one that appears in the opening, must appear during he's in a different Pride Trooper group, which is kind of cool because he states that they'll need to gather all the Pride Troopers together in order to come together. So we get a little bit more detail. So the Pride Troopers are a lot like the Lantern Corps, if you've ever watched Justice League or the Green Lantern series or read the Green Lantern comic books. So they're like the Lantern Corps in a sense. So there's different amounts of them on all other planets. So once we get that plot out of the way and we get that all situated, we learn that Goku has to find Android 17. Since Android 17 and 18 are androids, they have no energy, so it's kind of hard for Goku to actually track and pinpoint where 17 is. The only way to find out where he could be is to talk to Dende. Dende basically watches over all of planet Earth, and he tells him, yo, 17 is on this island, he's a park ranger, he's doing this thing. And then at that point, they head off and they go to find Android 17, and the episode ends there. The pros of this episode, I definitely have to say, I really love how the episode takes the time to focus on the Pride Troopers. That's really good. Like, obviously, other universes in this tournament are involved, because I know even Champa gathers all of the gods of destruction, and some of them are on Goku's side, actually, and some of them have wavered away from Goku, and they say he's disrespectful. But I do love how the gods of destruction got together, and they are talking, and they end up developing, as well as the Pride Troopers from Universe 11, because I know there's a bunch of other universes that are going to be participating in this tournament, but Universe 11 seems like they're going to be the strongest. Like, they are going to be the threat, because Jiren is on that team, and he's the main person that Goku ends up fighting against. So we know who the threat is. After that, I just love to see it that they took the time to develop the characters. So good job there. The cons of this episode, not much happened outside of that. I mean, yeah, the development of the characters is good. That was really good. But other than that, Goku is still looking for 17. He started off the episode looking for 17, and he's still looking for 17. The only thing that happened at this point was that Boo got developed a little bit more. But it's kind of weird because Boo's not going to look like Slim Boo the whole time. So there was really no point in even doing that part. It was just there to be there, to eat up time. Conclusion, the episode was really good. It was a nice episode that did a great job at developing the characters. However, like I said, not much really happened. It was sort of basic. If you take out the Universe 11 plot, in my conclusion, I think they should have just went ahead and made this an entire Universe 11 plot, and rather than have Goku and the others do anything, just to, use up the time more. Like, they could have started off the episode with Goku looking for 17 and Gohan looking for Piccolo, and then that's it. The Boo part was completely unnecessary. It was nice, but it was unnecessary. Now we move on to episode 86. Episode 86 plot goes like this. So basically, Goku is on the lookout, and Dende somehow takes the lookout and is able to fly. I get the feeling that this should have been more useful in other sagas. If the lookout could fly, then Goku's heart virus and where to put him and all of that would have even been an issue. But whatever. I guess it's an installment that Dende just put in. Goku was able to find Android 17. Goku and 17 work together and end up fighting a bunch of poachers. And after that, Goku learns a little bit more about 17. 17 learns about Goku. And before that, Dende talks to Goku about Oob. For those of y'all who don't know, Oob is the fighter that's resurrected from Majin Buu, hence his name Oob. It's Buu backwards. And Goku learns a little bit more about Oob, but Oob's way too young and he can't enter the tournament, obviously, so he's not an option. But it is interesting to know that they talk a lot about Oob, so they are foreshadowing Oob's, appearance. So that was really cool. After that, Android 17 and Goku end up developing a lot more. And Goku basically is hanging out with 17, and the two get to know each other better. And Goku's like, "Yo, why do you want to be a ranger, a park ranger?" And 17's like, "Yo, I do this mostly to protect the animals." And he does. He shows that there's a lot of animals and even monsters like the Minotaurus that are in danger because of poachers that want to use its horn to sell or use its horn to eat, things like that. Just random poacher stuff. And it's cool to see 17 have such a big change in his life. So after developing, they end up, Goku has to ask him to recruit, and 17 declines. And then Goku lies about why he needs to recruit for the tournament, and 17 won't buy it, so Goku has to go into a more serious mode to explain what exactly is going on in the tournament. But before he gets to do that, some aliens show up and looking for the Minotaurs. I guess they want to eat it. And then the episode ends on that cliffhanger. I really, really, really love this episode and the time that it took to develop both of these characters. Not just 17, but Goku. The reason I say this is because 17 and Goku never officially met. And the episode even tells you this. They go over the fact of everything that took place during the Cell Saga. And what happened and why they didn't get to meet. And the episode does a beautiful job of just having them develop, not just by them sparring with each other, but the episode takes the time to sit down with these two characters and have them develop. Goku's never really taken the time to sit down with any character and just talk and chill. The only character I can think that he's done this with is Krillin. And that was during the, before the Cell Saga ended up beginning. This was a legitimate time for Goku and 17 to actually officially meet and hang out. Like, I get the feeling if Krillin wasn't Goku's best friend, Goku and 17 would actually be pretty cool buds, because they are just eating and by fire. They're just chilling. They're learning about each other's families too, because not only do we know about 17 and he's got 2 adopted kids, 1 biological kid and a wife, but we also, like, 17 learns more about Goku's family, because Goku brings up Goten and 17 is like, I know who Trunks is, I don't know who Goten is. And Goku's like, yo, that's my child, my second child. And then 17 learns more about him. So it was good to just see these two really powerful fighters settle down, talk, and learn about each other. And I thought that was a really nice addition to this episode. Not many cons in this episode. I really enjoyed it. I do have a gripe, which I'm going to section off as a con, and that's 17's power. Now, in the episode, I do understand that 17 states that he trained while everything was taking place, so he has gotten considerably stronger. But with no hyperbolic time chamber, room of space and time for those who stick to the comics, to the manga, sorry, and with no gravity training like Vegeta does, or no partner to train with, how strong is 17 exactly? Because, like, before he got absorbed by Cell, he was weaker than Imperfect Cell, but on the same level as Piccolo fused with Kami. So I want to say after all of those years of training, 17, maybe, by training by himself, no gravity chamber, no time chamber, I want to say he's about as strong as, I don't know, Perfect Cell. Like, Perfect Cell, but like not super Perfect Cell. So basically Perfect Cell before he ended up coming back to Earth and he got the Zenkai boost and all of that. That's how strong I want to say he is at that point. But the fact that he's able to go toe to toe with God form Goku just messes with me. Now, granted, he states that Goku in God form was still holding back, but it was still bothering me that 17 was putting up that good of a fight, because then at that point, Beerus wouldn't have been a problem, Frieza wouldn't have been a problem. I don't know, it's just, I know he didn't show up for those things, but still just a threat to the world of that magnitude. I'm sure 17 had looked up in the sky and went, oh shit, like, it was bothering me, but it wasn't something that took away from the quality of the episode. I think they just did that to make it look good. Anyway, the conclusion is that the episode did a really great job. I love the fact that Dragon Ball Super is actually slowing down. I love that they're taking the time to slow up their pace a bit. There's literally only 2 days to gather all of these fighters, yet we've been going through episodes upon episodes of just development, and I have to say I congratulate Super for that. So, they haven't titled the next episode yet on either of the lists, so I guess I'll just see you all then. Tyron the God 3, out.